lot of statements lately. We're seeing that the Department of, let's see, what is it? TSA is going to be getting their money. All right. So Trump says he'll order that TSA officers be paid in a move that could end long waits at airport security. I guess they're getting really, really long out there. Not everywhere, though, because I talked to some people that flew out of other areas of the country and there were no waits at all. So seems like it's just at some places like Atlanta and Washington, D.C., I don't know, New York, maybe some places like that. But he's ordering that Department of Homeland Security basically fund it. So he's signing an order that they transfer some money over. Mark Wayne Mullen is going to pay the TSA agents in order to address the emergency situation. So looks like that's getting solved. That problem's getting solved. We're going to see, of course, several more that are going to continue to come up over time. And this is what is that exposing? It's exposing that the Democrats and the rhinos basically aren't running our country correctly. They're not allowing the money that we have paid in taxes, right, to go through and go to all the places where it needs to go to, so our country runs smoothly. So I just like, so I talked to this woman this morning. It was at the event that I was at. That Juan O'Savin brought us together to look at the bond crisis, and I talked about that last night. But she's got a show, and she's talking about all the different problems that are out there as far as like the voting and so forth, all across America. And she was like, some of these people are so bad. She's a funny woman, is like around my age. And she's like, she's hardcore though. She's like, I'd just like to line them up and just start machine gunning them for 24 hours. I'm like, for 24 hours, a little overkill, right? And she's like, no, that's what they deserve. I was like, wow, okay. So 24 hours of being shot with a machine gun. That's what some of these people deserve that are in public office. So that's not a threat to them, of course, but that's how angry a lot of us are. We express ourselves this way sometimes, I guess. So craziness. We're going to see a lot of these people, I think, are going to Guantanamo. So I don't know how they're going to, is it just firing squad or, gallows? What's going to happen to most of these political types? I don't know. So we'll see. But some of us are like, 24 hours worth of machine gunning. That's how angry people are getting these days. All right. So Trump says Iran is begging for a deal, adds 10 days to pause of Iranian energy plant bombing. So, this back and forth that's going on, we the U.S. Government, the military and so forth, the reason why we have all our bases in the Middle East, which I think after Iran is eliminated as a threat to the Middle East, we can do away with all those bases, right? Because all those bases there are for Iran and Hezbollah and ISIS and and Hamas. So once Iran is eliminated and the sources of money making to use their money for that they were using all the oil money that we're making, and they don't have that much oil. I'm going to show you guys that. Did you know that the United States is the #1 producer of oil, and Russia's #2, and they're a distant #2, right? So since the shale and all that stuff, Trump, as drill baby drill, we are number one in the world for oil production. Wow. Wow, wow. So I'll show you the chart of that. Venezuela's like way down. They don't even make a million gallons, million barrels of oil a day. And wow. So I know a lot of people are like, well, we went there for the oil. We've got more oil than everybody else in the world. So it's not about the oil. It's about taking down the deep state. So we have to free the oil in the Middle East, because everybody's depending on us for decades now to do that. That's what the petrodollar is all about. And, the dollar has risen with, the WTI, West Texas Intermediate. Brent is a lot higher. Usually it's like a $1 or $2 difference. Now it's like $10 difference between Brent and our oil, or somewhere around there. Maybe not that much now, but it was for a while. So we're crushing it, and we don't really need to go over there and do this anymore. But to basically take Iran out of the loop so that they don't foment all of this war in the Middle East and so forth, we have to do this, right? And so the deep state is Rothschilds. Yep, Trump is deep state. Another moron, right? There's a lot of morons. There'll be a lot of morons out, for the King's marches against Trump, the Trump administration. So these are the anti-war demonstrations they're going to start. The King marches. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people in our country that are extremely uneducated, extremely low consciousness level, and like the person that was making the comments. I'm just going to take this person out forever. Bye-bye. All right. So we're going to have to listen to these morons. And it's like, now this woman that I was talking to this morning, she's like, you have to look at them and understand that they are mentally deranged. And when you start to look at them like that, and you just kind of like shake your head, and you're like, this is a mentally deranged person, right? And it's a little bit easier that way, I guess. For me, I don't like to be around mentally deranged people, or listen to them, or have them come into my chat and make their stupid comments. But that's what we're up against. The people here, and there's massive numbers of you, are highly educated, critical thinkers, and have incredible backgrounds. I've talked to several people at this event. I mean, like everybody at this event has watched my show. So it's pretty cool to see that there is a very highly informed, very motivated group of people out there. And it doesn't take a lot of people, because I can tell you, I was part of the 1% of the 1% of the 1%, right? So there's 1% of U.S. goes into military, only 1% goes into special forces, and only 1% of those special forces goes all the way to tier 1. So it's easy for a small group of people to make a massive major difference, right? As long as you're dedicated, you're focused, and you work together, right? You can accomplish impossible against incredible odds, and against incredibly stupid people that are out there that are crazy. They're crazy, right? But crazy people have to kind of keep an eye on them so they don't do something stupid, right? And we're going to see a lot of stupid coming up. All right, so this conflict will continue for the foreseeable future. Now I'm looking at planetary alignments, and I'm gonna have some people that are expert at that, and I'm gonna share their videos, pieces of their videos, and we're in the sign of Aries, which is the Ram, hard headed, but that Ram just like comes in and like jam shit, so we're gonna jam through a lot of stuff and get a lot of stuff done. And those people that get in the way we're just going to jam through them, machine gun them for 24 hours, whatever it takes, right? So it's going to be that way going forward. Now, let me share with you, basically. I don't know why my screen keeps jumping around, but hopefully, let's see what's going on here. All right, that might do it. All right, here we go. All right, as you see here, the U.S. is all the way at the top for crude oil production in 2025. 13.58 million barrels per day. Now, Russia comes in number second at just under 10 million. So then we have Saudi Arabia, which was the number one for the longest time, world's top oil producer in 2018, overtaking Russia, but now they've slipped. Russia has moved ahead. And because the price of oil is up quite a bit, Russia is making a lot of money so they can continue to destroy the Nazis in Ukraine, right? And then Canada. I had no idea that Canada produced that much oil. They're number 4. So just under 5 million barrels. And then you got Iraq, which, everybody's like, we're going for the oil. We're going for the oil. And it's not even close to what we have. Why would we go for their oil? We don't need it. We don't need anybody's oil, guys. China even has oil. Iran, Iran, like well below Iraq. So a lot of people said we went into Iraq to get the oil. Why? Why do people think that we're going into Iran to get the oil? Why? Both of those countries together is still almost like, still nothing compared to what we're producing. Brazil's up there, Kuwait, Kazakhstan, Norway, Mexico, Nigeria, Libya, Qatar, Algeria, Angola, and then all the way down here is Venezuela at under 1 million barrels per day. Wow, way down there. So, there's really no reason for us to be in the Middle East. We don't need it. We don't need the oil. But the rest of the world does, and the rest of the world has depended on us, and the deep state has depended on us. And now a lot of people, that are uninformed and have silly thinking, believe that we're the puppet of Israel. Really? Right? That is so stupid to me. And anyone that makes a comment, I don't care who they are, is a moron, right? And there's a lot of morons out there that a lot of people listen to, and that's just where they're at, for that. Some of these people that present a lot of good stuff out there, they do a fairly good job. But this thing about Israel and the United States being a puppet of Israel, maybe at one time with the Rothschilds, and the city of London, basically making the state of Israel, and there's a I guess a percentage of Israel, just like there's a percentage of United States and UK and France and so forth that has deep state elements within it that have really control that, but it's definitely not controlling America. And you look at I don't know, some of these people that are out there that people think they have a lot of power over us. Uh, you know, we have big planes, B-2 bombers, B-1 bombers. You name the B, we got it, right? All the way down to B-52, and so we got some Bs going on, and we also have big tanks and aircraft carriers and all kinds of stuff on that. So thinking that some of these other countries, have control over us is moronic. Moronic. All right. So no, and so for a long time, America was a deep state puppet. That's no longer, guys. And the deep state puppet, was, because the deep state was in all over the world and also in Israel. You could think that Israel, was kind of puppeting us because that's one of the deep state hubs. And now we're looking at, we are puppeting Israel. Hello. The United States is now puppeting Israel. They're doing our bidding now, right? So that's where things are at right now, and that's where the way things are going to continue. So the Tucker Carlsons and whoever else wants to bash Trump because he's a puppet of Israel and Israel's controlling us. It's dumb. It's stupid to me, right? And you can think what you want. You can be under their spell and think what you want because they control your consciousness. It's up to you. But if you do critical thinking and look around and see what's going on, George Soros, does he have tanks? Does he have aircraft? Right? How many aircraft are left in Iran? How many ships are left in Iran? Yeah, they have a few more missiles they've hidden away. Yeah, they have a few more drones they've hidden away, but not that many, right? Not that many left. And we will find them and we will remove them, either by just overrunning their positions, I think, which is coming with ground troops, with really good aircraft, coverage and missile coverage and satellite coverage and directed energy weapons that we have for the good guys to use, right? And as you guys heard from Venezuela, that 50, 150, whatever, however many badass Cubans that Maduro had for a bodyguard unit, they were like, prostate bleeding from all their orifices, so I don't think that we're going to have much of a problem going into Iran and taking care of business. But if you think there's going to be a problem, that's your free speech, free speech, free thinking, non-critical thinking. It's up to you, right? So we'll see. Now, like I said, President Trump keeps saying that Iran wants to negotiate. Do they really? Do they really? I say no, they don't. I say no, they don't. Right? So, but because he's saying that, you have to learn to read between the lines and get the deeper meaning behind what's going on. He's already said that he's not going to tell anybody what he's going to do, and he's proven that for the last 8-9 years. Yeah, because he'll tell you that he was 45, 46, and 47. Right? So for 9 years now, he has basically been kind of hinting at certain things. Remember when he used to talk about Joe doesn't even know he's alive? So, yeah, because he's not, right? Because he wasn't. And so you have a lot of these little things that have been, little hints that have come down. He's like, under Article 2, I can do whatever I want. And so he can, because we're in a continuity of government. And under Article 2, the chief of the military commander-in-chief, basically Jefe says that, he can do whatever he wants, and he's been doing whatever he wants. So right now he wants to go in and eliminate the one last threat in the Middle East, and that's Iran. And that frees up the rest of the Middle East to be prosperous, Abraham Accord, trading, all that kind of stuff. So that's what's coming. How does it come about? Remains to be seen. We got all these Marines heading that direction. 82nd Airborne. Is that all posturing? Is that all like, bluff? Trump doesn't bluff, so he's moving military into that area. Who knows how much is already there? All right. And maybe the Marines coming there is just a cover because there's a lot more there. I don't know. I'm not there, but I can tell you, I've been involved in these operations. Special forces can show up in a heartbeat, and they can move a lot of stuff, right? They can bring in a lot of fast movers. That's the F-18s and F-35s and whatever the hell whatever they got these days. They can bring them in. They can drop bombs, pinpoint of where some of these guys are at, wherever they're needed. All right, so they just go to a piece of land that looks like it needs to be taken. And Karg Island, that's stupid. Why would we go to Karg Island? That's way up there. And that's Iran's, oil. They moved that's their oil island. Why would we want that? There's thousands of, ships in the Gulf that need to be moving. So they're gonna free up, I think, fairly soon. I don't know when. This weekend, next weekend, another weekend after that. They don't like to do it during the week because it makes the stock market go down and people get very, very excited. All right. Does Trump really care about the stock market? Because there's a lot of people that think and have their wealth tied up in the stock market. He wants to help them and protect them. I think he has more billions today than he's ever had in his life. So I don't know. Same thing. Why would he need to be president? So he's multi-billionaire many times over. Why would he need to be president? Because he believes in our country. He believes in taking down the deep state. And he said it over and over again. That he's going to take down the Federal Reserve. He's going to take down the IRS. He's going to get, the Democrats out of there and the rhinos out of there. And so I don't know, maybe there's 3 or 4, people left. And from the 3 or 4 people, it's continuity of government just keeps going. They bring in, some people to keep things going. Kind of like, Homeland Secretary of Homeland Defense is going to go, okay, we're going to put some money over at TSA because the Democrats don't want to, help our country. So it's exposure, over and over and over again. And as more people get exposed for their evil and their evildoers and evil doing, then it sets them up for, okay, yep, 24 hours of machine gunning, right? Or whatever, however they're going to be executed. I don't know. But they're going to be, removed. And then they have lots of, and they don't have to go all the way to Guantanamo. They can be in the same state they're at, same area where they're at, and JAG officers can come in and hold a military tribunal and are organizing. Okay, you want to plea deal 20 years? Let's look at your record. Yep, you did this, and this. Nah, no, you did some treasonous stuff, and you might have to go bye-bye. So we're going to send you to Guantanamo. How about you next? And then, yep, you did this. Yeah, you pushed the shots. Yeah. How many people died from that? Yeah. You're going to have to go to Guantanamo too. All right. So, and then they'll just start going through people, guys. We have 600 of them. Judge, advocate, generals, and they're going to just start crushing through all of these people, hundreds of thousands of people that need to either go to jail for a very long time or go down to Guantanamo and stand a trial down there and either spend the rest of their life down there. That's why they're building those, geriatric hospitals down there, because there's people going to age for the rest of their time here on Earth down in Guantanamo, and they're never coming out, right? And no chance of parole. It's a military tribunal, so military justice, no chance of parole. Spend the rest of your life in prison. Treasonous, you caused this many deaths, Obama, and so because you did this to the United States, you did that to the United States, you organized this. Now, Obama, a lot of you guys, it's all Obama, it's all Obama, it's all Obama. It's like, Obama is a friggin' puppet. Hello, there's something a lot bigger over Obama. So these people were manipulated by something much larger, guys. And eventually we'll get to that. But yeah, we have to tier our way up to that level. John Brennan, all these other, bad actors, James Comey, they get their trials, they get their neckties or, bullets. But which size bullet you want? You want 9mm? You want 5.56, 50 cal? What size bullet would you like? All right. So they'll get their choice, and I think that's fair. So and we don't have to machine gun them. We could just just, I don't know, 7-man fire squad. I don't know how many people they have in the fire squad, but I think they'll probably use 5.56. But maybe they'll have an opportunity. Now a 9mm 45, it's like that. I don't know. Why not? Why not give them a choice? Right? So we're gonna give you a choice how you die. How about that? You're like, oh really? Maybe I don't have to die. Oh no, you're gonna die. But would you like to go the gallows? Would you like a 5.56 or 50 cal or so? I think they should have choice, right? Options are good. All right, so it has to work its way out. So I think that once the nuclear threat is pretty much done, then, and that's Iran basically removed, right? And then if they find some floaters, I guess they're out and about. I don't know, some nuclear backpacks or suitcases or something that's kind of wandering around out there. Once they discover the last of those, then it's like all bets are off. It's time for the military tribunals, JAG officers, doing their thing, and then hundreds of thousands of people that are going to, receive justice. I think it's going to be in the millions. I've heard people say hundreds of thousands. Maybe. I think they're, just kind of like, just kind of like lowballing it so people don't get, millions and thousands. Some people are like, there's going to be thousands that are going to get justice. Yeah, you want that, right? Yeah, let's get it done, right? 24 hours of machine gunning, right? So, all right. Now, there's energies out there, all right? We know that we are connected in a lot of ways. Those of you that come and watch these shows, I see you, not literally, but I feel you, and I see your comments. And yes, I think that what we're going to see is, because we're in the sign of Aries, we're going to see some real hammering going on. So Aries is symbolized by the bold ram. It's called the pioneer of the zodiac, charging headfirst into life with fiery passion and unwavering determination. That sounds like what we need right now, right? They are known for their courage, Aries people, in the Aries energies. It's known for its courage, independence, and love of a good challenge. Yes, I love a good challenge. It's like, why would I want to just fight one person when I can like take out multiple people? I come into a place and I sit down. I'm like, this is the way Trump is too. Remember how when Trump went to that one where Obama was like, Trump, you like, you thought that I wasn't born here and all that stuff, and Trump's just like poker faced. And everybody's laughing, and the press is against him, and almost everybody in the audience is against him, laughing at him. And Obama's like, "You'll never be president." And so it's like, yeah, and now he is, and now Obama's gonna, get justice. So it's kind of like that. I'm kind of like that. So Trump is sitting amongst the enemy, and he's like all cool and collect. It's like I'm going to take all of you down, all of you. You're probably all going to get justice, right? So all of you probably have done some evil shit, and you're all going to go to Guantanamo or spend the rest of your life in prison or something else. So that's the kind of way I feel. Let's ram through this. Let's get it on, right? I can take on, a whole room of people. It's like, yeah, it's a challenge. All right, good. All right, let's go. Let's get it. And so that's kind of the way things are right now. We're taking on everything. And I know a lot of people are, because I talk to all these people that are around the country. Some people are in office. I talked to this one wonderful woman that's in office, and she says she gets attacked all the time by the press, by lawfare, and most of the community are behind her. But there's this Muslim group, I guess, that is trying to take over, and they didn't win. And she's from a small town. And so I talked to a lot of people like that, talked to people in Hawaii that, are, facing, they'll go into like a council meeting, and the council meeting will basically just shut them down because they're like, you're a threat. And so because you're a threat, you're going to be removed. And all they did is come in to say, I want, information on, the things that you guys have been putting out. And so Freedom of Information Act type thing. And they're like, they shut them down. And then they had like security, escort him out. So then he comes back, and so this is the way these guys are against us right now. They're trying their lawfare. We saw it with Trump. They're doing their lawfare in a lot of places right now. And we're pushing back. We're standing up. More of you need to get involved. It's we, the people. We have allowed them, unfortunately, to assume these places of power. But we have to stand up, and we have to, as a community, work together to take them down. All right. So I'm gonna have a lot of guests on coming up. We're lining them up, and we'll talk a lot about this over the next weeks or so. And Juan was talking about having a larger group that would come together in Vegas, like 500 or 600, and he would open up to the public. So there's a possibility that we will have another one of these forum type things, because I think it was very successful. People got to see some very, very good stuff. I did. I thought I was pretty well informed on this, but I was blown away by all the stuff that was shared. Great people that were talking, great patriots that have stood up and have really made a difference. And we all need to be informed about this and really start to push back on this, because imagine that financially, economically, everything shuts down, completely shuts down. I mean, you can't get your money out of the bank. You can't use your credit cards. Everything freezes up. That's potential of what's coming. It almost happened once before, and this is something that they have over our heads, and so we need to be aware of it, and we need to start to plan. We need to start to push back. I don't think it's a matter of if this is coming; it's coming, and I've been talking about this for a little bit. That I said, what was it, like over a week ago? I said I had emergency. There's going to be potential stock market crash. So now we're in a correction. The Nasdaq is in correction. It's down more than 10%. Tomorrow will probably be up because it's like every day it's down like crazy. Then the next day is up like crazy. Total manipulation going on in the stock market, right? It's going to continue to probably go down. Is oil going to continue to go up? Will it pull back? And then the stock market goes up. You know how I say oil goes down, stock goes up. Oil goes up, stock goes down. It's very simple. Today, oil was up and the stock market was down pretty heavily. Yesterday, I think it was up good. I don't know why, because the oil was up, but they, monkeyed it up. And today they monkeyed it down. So it's a jungle. The stock market is a jungle. So craziness. Now, massive No Kings protests set to take place across the Bay Area on Saturday, and they're saying that these events are going to kick off in other places. So they're protesting the war, they're protesting Trump, blah, blah, blah.
Adam Sheehan with Indivisible SF says they're expecting their largest turnout yet.
President Trump's attempt to rule through oppression has called Americans across the nation to respond through moral-grounded and non-violent protests. If he believes he will roll over and let...
So, probably Soros-funded, Democrat-funded, the bonds and so forth that they have from the taxes and also from, property taxes and so forth. They basically, funnel all that wealth into Democrat Party, positions and so forth. So we're starting to see all the fraud that's been happening. The worst fraud, of course, we've seen the result of that, like in places like Detroit, where they did bond fraud to the point where they destroyed that city. And they're doing the same thing in San Francisco. I mean, we can't keep up with these constantly rising property taxes. They keep going up. Now, I had someone that talked about the property taxes. Let's see if I can find that. So this woman, Terry, was watching. She said, "I was watching you, and so the show I did yesterday, and I think Las Vegas. You were talking about property taxes, and I just had to tell you, I live in Coaldale, I think, Pennsylvania, which is a rundown old town. I paid $30,000 for a church and a directory plus another plot of land last year. They reassessed all the properties. My property in the cesspool is worth almost $800,000. And my taxes went up from $5,000 to $16,000. So remember, she paid $30,000 for this rundown town, an old church and directory that was abandoned, evidently, probably. And so they reassessed it up to $800,000. And so now she's paying from $5,000 to $16,000. And I live in a shithole. And I listen very carefully. And I am really trying to learn, as I have been for the last 11 years, how to help others as well as myself. I don't have money to go do things. I am on disability, which I had to fight for. and we talked about that. I talked about that last night. I try to wake people up. I love your show, and I wish I was able to go to more of your events. It's hard to get people to listen to you when they are so manipulated, but the property tax thing is really bad up here, and it's bad everywhere. And they're using it in this kind of stuff right here, these king marches.
Our freedoms, he's mistaken. We are coming together on Saturday to make it clear in America, we don't do kings.
In Marin County, 21 cities will host their own No Kings protests. Additionally, a caravan full of local leaders will be taking the rally from town to town. Outrage over many of the Trump administration's policies, including immigration enforcement and the U.S.'s war in Iran, top of mind.
Iran was not posing an imminent threat, period, at least to the United States of America. And going, bombing schools, destroying infrastructure, the threats, it's just impossible to handle.
Concerns over ICE hits close to home for many communities in the East Bay, where there are multiple events spanning from Pinole and Hercules to El Sobrante, where Judy Weatherly with Indivisible West Contra Costa County says there will be a massive rally on San Pablo Dam Road from 1 to 3 p.m.
A lot of issues in terms of immigration have been up. You know, part of what we're trying to do is really develop a community that's responding to the needs. So we're working at looking at mutual aid.
You can find more information about the protests near you on KRON4.com. Reporting in San Francisco, Stephanie Rothman, KRON4 News.
All right. So, compromised consciousness. Right? So compromised consciousness. And these people believe in what they're doing. They don't. And so it's very sad. We are able to think for ourselves. We're able to do critical thinking. I know you guys watch me, but you don't believe everything I say. You do your own research. You're like, oh, that's interesting. I'm going to go research that. And you're like, oh, that's good. And here's even more information that he didn't even cover. And that's the way it should be. You should be deepening your understanding and doing your own research and activating your own critical thinking, your own thoughts and so forth, and having discussions on this with people that will listen, right? Not the people that won't, because it's a waste of time. Because these are people that are, virtually insane, right? Virtually insane and completely compromised mentally, I believe. What will they be able to be awakened? At this point, I have compassion for them, but I have no sympathy for them because they're causing serious problems oftentimes. So no sympathy, compassion for their that they were unfortunately stupidized in whatever fashion, whatever way. But I have no sympathy when they start to become a problem, right? And that's the way you guys should be as well. Don't get caught up in stupid, right? Don't do stupid. Don't get caught up in it. All right. So, but it's out there. And it is what it is. All right. At least if you're stupid, you can be fixed. But if you're a moron, you can be fixed. But if you're retarded, if you're completely retarded, even retarded people understand oftentimes. But if you're retarded to the point where your consciousness, your ability to think for yourself is so low, then there's probably not going to be bringing those people out. Now, I've heard people say that we're going to have this thing where people are just going to start to disappear that are like that. That's more acceptable, I guess, on some level. I don't know how that's going to have the rapture, it's going to disappear, right? So they're not of our vibratory frequency that we're creating. And that stands to reason. There's that possibility. So just keep raising our consciousness, keep, pushing forward, keep ramming ahead, right? And I think we're gonna be all right. I don't have any problems with stupid. It's stupid. Stupid's going to be out there, guys. So now Iran blows up the Statue of Liberty in chilling AI video of Trump's deal rejected. So Trump is like, I'm dealing with them, but they put out stuff like this, and I'm like, I've been around these guys for decades and decades and decades, and they don't deal. The only thing they deal with is when you basically destroy them, right? You put them out of existence. So that's the only way that's the only thing I've ever seen that works, guys. All right, so the Epstein, one vengeance for all. So let's see, what these guys have here. Let's see if I can drag this back, get it going. All right, reload. So they're going to go through all the people that supposedly America has harmed, the American Indian, Japan with Hiroshima. Of course, Japan, attacked Pearl Harbor and went into China and killed hundreds of thousands of people and, raided throughout most of the Pacific Islands and butchered people. But, they got the atomic bomb dropped on them in that end of the war. Or was it a direct energy weapon? I don't know. But anyway, you're going to see basically this play out, and everybody's going to be looking up, and the bomb's going to drop, and that's kind of what they're trying to project. So this is Iran. They released this. So, I mean, Soleimani, I had lots of friends that died from Soleimani stuff. And, thousands and thousands of military people. And then hundreds of thousands of Iraqis died from Soleimani. So, Tehran, pushing out terrorism all around the world, but yet they want to make America, because America is basically making things right. They want to make America look like they're bad. And this is typical of communist. You see the Democrats basically do the same thing. They call everybody racist and fascist and so forth, but they're the ones that are racist and fascist. Now, they had a Statue of Liberty basically being taken out, and it had a, bull's horn. And I'm kind of like, okay, you're right on that one. Right? So all the other ones, not so much, but we're going to see the Statue of Liberty get taken down, I think, somehow, some way, because it is Statue of Lucifer. And so, I agree with them on that. Yeah, it needs to be taken down. But so do you. So do you. And that's what's going to happen, because you're basically Luciferian yourselves. The Shiite, the Shits. They're the most violent religious organization in the world. And if you don't agree with them, they kill you, right? And they even kill other Muslims. So it will be something that we'll see the end of, the Shiite and the Muslim culture, will it continue to exist? Will the Christian culture continue to exist? Now, Christians are very interesting because they talk about Christ and how he was Christian. No, Christ was Jewish, and Yeshua, right? Yeshua ben Joseph was actually Jewish, and I've been to, I was Baptist, came up a Baptist, so I've been to Catholic churches and all kind of Christian churches all over, Protestant, you name the church, I've been there, right? What do Christians talk about often? They talk about the Bible. And the Bible, the Old Testament, is basically all about Judaism, right? So why do Christians study Judaism? The first, so critical thinking, right? That's the Old Testament. And so it's preached, it's talked about, and it's like it's part of the, what we learn. So then we get back to the Rothschilds starting the nation of Israel, the bad side of it, Khazarian side, and the evil side. So there's a lot of this, our religion's better than yours. I think it's all got to go. It's all got to go, right? I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe in Buddha. I believe all these great people that came here over time that helps us to learn good things, right? And then there were some not so much, right? And people cling to them and put them on a pedestal where they don't belong, right? So have you seen what's happening in Lebanon? What? The Jewish people are going in to kill the Hezbollah that are like raining missiles down on them? Yeah, I've seen that. I spent time in Lebanon. I know Lebanon better than most people, right? So yeah, there's a Christian faction and a Muslim faction. I've talked about this over and over again. And one of those factions, the Muslim faction, was doing some very, very evil things. It probably still is, child trafficking and so forth. And you remember that big grain silo that blew up underground there was a lot of, in that harbor, was a lot of human trafficking, child trafficking, and so forth. So it blew the shit out of it, right? Unfortunately, it blew the hell out of all of Lebanon, pretty much. So, guys, you're gonna run up against a lot of stuff that is gonna like make you wake up. And if you don't wake up, and if you cling to old beliefs and beliefs that don't really serve you, then you're going to get stuck, right? And this is the time where you got to ram ahead, right? Ram through all the bullshit and get ahead. So, I mean, you can believe whatever you want. I don't have a problem with your beliefs. Believe what you want, but you really need to start looking at what you're preaching. A lot of people preach about some of these religions and so forth, and there's some problems with them, right? A lot of problems, a lot of manipulation within a lot of those teachings and writings and so forth. There's a lot of writings out there that aren't included for what reason, and so you have to start to look at the bigger thing, or the bigger picture. All right, so we're all human beings, and we're connected to God. And did Jesus come to earth and share some great teachings? And is he still around and still help people? Yes, I've seen him, so why not? Two siblings. So I talked about this the other day, that the bases were being locked down. Now I knew that MacDill was being locked down. I knew this several days ago from a source, but it wasn't time to put it out then, but it is out today. All right. So we had two Chinese siblings, young man and a young woman that planted improvised explosives at MacDill Air Force Base in Florida. Now, MacDill is a home of Central Command and U.S. Central Command, and also SOCOM, which is basically Special Operations Command. So I said that, you know, these attacks are coming to America, and these were Chinese that brought it, right? So Alan Zing and his sister was arrested, but Alan Zing, I think, escaped back to China. So Alan Zing, who the FBI says is currently in China, is believed to have planted the device and is facing charges of attempted damage to government property by fire or explosion, unlawful making of a destructive device, and possession of an unregistered destructive device, per Fox News. And Anne Mary Zing, Alan Zing's sister, has been arrested by the FBI Tampa and has been charged with accessory after the fact and tampering with evidence. So, Chinese, so, a lot of people have been expecting this to come from Middle Eastern types, but now we have Chinese. And we know that the Chinese have been, launching drones that have been going over our bases. And I've talked about how people have told me, informed me, that at one time it was once a week, and then it was like every day, right? And they weren't doing anything about it. And that's, a few days ago, I ramped on this and ramped it up and ranted that these knuckleheads that are in these bases need to get their act together, right? And we know that the Chinese have bought farmland and so forth alongside a lot of these bases. So there is definitely some problems there. And with this, duo that has, planted improvised explosive device on a military base, that should be the wake-up call, right? So I think a lot of these base commanders have been, informed, and they're probably getting their security teams, ramped up, I would imagine. But, we had Marcinko back in the day. He started, of course, development group, SEAL Team 6. And he also after he did that, he went on and started Red Cell. Now, Red Cell basically was a group of, very high speed. He brought a bunch of guys from SEAL Team 6 with him to start Red Cell, and from some of the other teams. And what they did is they tested the security of different bases, and they showed them to be very wanting. I remember there was one admiral that was on a base that was like taunting the guys, and he got wrapped up very quickly, and he got showed. Right? He got showed, and I guess he complained, and it went all the way to the top, and they did away with Red Cell. It's like, are you kidding me? He was showing you how stupid and effed up you guys are, and you didn't want to be embarrassed, so you did away with someone that could have taught you how you need to beef up your security. This is the way. This is the way of the military, guys. The guys that are in the back that don't make it to the top, but through merit, right? And then when the guys of merit, once they've accomplished something, then they send in the guys that will never be war fighters, and they send in the shitbags, like I told you guys, happened in Iraq. And they came in and they took over and they did stupid. And that's why that war went on and on and on and on, because they brought in the stupid crew, right? So the stupid crew's in all these bases. There's probably some good ones. I would say they're at MacDill. They probably have some of the best because you got special forces guys there and so forth, and Central Command. But all these other bases, guys, I will be very surprised if we don't see some very significant negative things happen to some of these bases here in the United States, right? So, yeah, Obama DUI, DEU, basically, if you're, they had all the transgenders in the military there for a while. And Trump came in and said, nope, you're out. So, they had probably infiltrated to some very high level positions. We saw a lot of them, in their cross-dressing, and it's disgusting. It ruined morale, and no one wanted to be in the military. So now they cleaned up the military. And now, why do you think this is? They've extended the age of people that can come into the military. So it used to be, 35, I think. Now they boosted it up to 42 because people are living longer and we're healthier, unless you got vaccinated with COVID. And you're basically able to, function at a higher level. Or do they want to have more people in the Army right now, right? For what reason? And I would say that probably because we're going to have to crack down here in the States. But they're also saying, oh, if you smoke marijuana, we don't see that a problem either. So, marijuana, drinking, people drank for long. Drinking's way worse than marijuana, I think. I don't know. I don't smoke marijuana. I have in the past, but it's not my thing. I like to have a glass of wine and a beer occasionally. But back in the day, I used to put away a lot of beer. I put away enough beer, I guess, for several lifetimes. So I don't need to drink too much more. So that's the way it was in the SEAL teams. We drank and we were merry, right? Merry band of frogmen. All right. So I think that, they're ramping up, and I guess they want to start to ramp up in April. So they're going to start to ramp up the numbers. And I think that's because here in the United States, they're going to need people to, crack down on stupid, right? So we'll see. Now, this is Meg Moonbeam. I've done, maybe someday I'll have Meg Moonbeam on if she wants to come on. But she does a really good job. I've watched her stuff for a little while now, and she really gets to the point. I like that. And so she talks about how everything is lining up, right? The planetary lineups, all planets direct, and they're in Aries like crazy. So let's listen to what Meg has to say.
Entire time of all planets direct. And finally, Uranus moves out of fall position in Taurus on April 25th. For most of the time, Uranus is at the end of Taurus, 29 degrees, okay, which us astrologers, those of us astrologers that aren't afraid to say the things that, are the hard truths that not everybody necessarily likes to hear, we've been talking about for a long time. This period, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, April 6th is when Uranus enters 29 degrees of Taurus, I think. I'm pretty sure.
So I'm looking at the dates here, and, when is this ground war going to kick? How long it's going to last? I think it kicks fairly soon. I don't know. I was thinking maybe this weekend, but maybe not, but we'll see. So I don't want to say for sure what I think, because, they're obviously trying to, cloak their time frame, their timing, time frames, and so forth. So when it happens, it happens. And where it happens, where it's going to happen. All right. But I think it's going to progress fairly quickly. They're going to ram through this. All right. And it's going to work out really well.
April 6th to April 25th, Uranus, critical degree, 29 degrees at fallen Taurus. This has to do with all the crazy stuff with the economy right now, shortages, fears of energy lockdown, high instability, possible bombs going off, ruled by Uranus, right? Us astrologers that aren't
All right, so this is another Trump reveal around the world. A lot of places are running out of fuel, right? So another Trump reveal for the deep state. The deep state is not in charge. President Trump and the good guys are, right? So they're showing, they're basically taking out the deep state, and they're showing the people, you know, that they're people that are in charge are not good people. They didn't want to get involved in, you know, helping open Strait of Hormuz, which the United States doesn't need it, but we're trying to help the world, and we're trying to like eliminate this threat so that we can start to clean up America too.
To say the truth, we've been talking about this for a long time. It will be a lot lighter and easier when Uranus moves into Gemini on April 25th. So it's interesting that during this period, a lot of planets are actually in places that they like to be. Okay, many of the planets are actually feeling good. During this period of all planets being direct, we are in Aries season for most of the time. Also, for part of the time, we will be in Taurus season. And this Aries season is wild, you guys. As I'm filming this video on March 26th, we have 5 planets in Aries, okay, planetary stellium in Aries. And actually from April 15th to April 17th, here's the chart for new moon in Aries, 27 degrees on April 17th, 7 planets in Aries with all planets direct. I personally think this is the most powerful new moon of the astrological year, April 17, 2026, to start something new, to move forward. Okay. Yes.
To start a rest, to move forward and start a rest. All right. So I think things are going to move. We're going to ram through things pretty good, guys. So thanks, Meg Moonbeam. You know, go over and, you know, join, subscribe with her. She's put out some great stuff. All right. So, you know, we're going to continue to see this kind of stuff, and we're going to have people that are tapping into it intuitively. Meg goes on a little bit deeper and talks about the intuitive level that's really starting to flourish right now. A lot of you I know are getting really good intuitive hits like I do. All right. And you're going to continue to do that as consciousness raises. So the consciousness of, you know, the world is rising, and the deep state is thrashing, and they're flailing, and they're being, you know, taken down. These Luciferians, you know, thought that, you know, us, you know, people of God would not be able to continue, that they will be able to control us. And that's not happening. And they're, you know, they're going to continue their operations, move forward, because, you know, in the past, they've always, you know, succeeded. This will be the time they don't. And it's going to become very, very obvious here, I believe, in the next few weeks, when things start to really collapse for the deep state. We're going to ram through this and get a lot of stuff done. All right, so everybody's talking about it. And we have Beyond the News with Janine and Jean-Claude. Let's show a little piece of this. So Janine was sharing the bigger picture. Let's see what she came up with.
I'll get into all of that tonight. So first, Janine, let's look at this 40,000-foot pool here. Where are we? Where are things going?
Wow. Hidden influence is really interesting. It's the Judgment card. So Judgment card, it took me 20 years to really understand that card. And I'll just sum it up. It's basically a time you can't sleep during when the Judgment card is, especially in a position like where it is, it's overviewing this whole reading here. So it says it's a wake up time for humanity. It is a time for rapid quantum leaping, and you can't be caught sleeping. Okay, or you're going to.
All right. Judgment card. Yep. The Judgment card and rapid quantum movement forward. Consciousness rising. You're going to break free from a lot of this stuff that we've been talking about. A lot of the control factors that have been out there are going to be exposed. People going to prison. You're going to see a lot of these priests go to prison, right, from all denominations, all religions. They're going to, guys, right? So a lot of this stuff is going to get cleaned up, not just political establishment, also judicial. We have a very, very strong, deep state infiltration within our judicial system, and that's going to get cleaned up, right? That has to be cleaned up so that we can move forward. We can't rely on our judicial system anymore. We're getting nothing done with it. It's completely corrupted. It comes after us, lawfare against those of us that are exposing the injustice in the political realm, in the voting realm, and the medical realm, and so forth. Now, in some places, like Colorado, the people, 80% of the people did not want for their governor, was it Jared, whatever his name is, to basically push a law and sign in a law where prostitution is now legal, right? They didn't want that, but he signed it in anyway. He also signed in that minors can, if they want, they don't have to have parental authorization. They can do transgender transition, and there's a lot of other stuff that's going on there in Paulus. Was it Paulus? What's the guy in? So I have to stop and look it up. Somebody in the chat throw in who's the that corrupt governor in Colorado. Colorado, yeah, what a disappointment, right? So the people don't want it, but he keeps pushing these things. He won't let T.D. Peters go. Twinkle Toes Paulus, yeah, there we go. He and his man, right, that he married recently. Yeah, I guess they were together for a while, so it's good for them. All right, so they're not doing it illegally anymore. They're legitimate now. So legitimately together, because that's what the deep state used to push that really hard. They wanted the homosexual connections, and so they're getting a lot of that. Obviously, we're seeing that at Oregon and lesbian couple Oregon, or is it Washington? One of those. And then there in Colorado, there's more of them. I think in Kentucky, the governor is openly out. He's gay, so I don't have a problem with that. But that is definitely one of the deep state pushes, and so that wasn't enough for them. They wanted the transgenderism. So we're starting to see, we've seen 1 or 2 transgenders in Congress now. So that's going to continue because that's the Luciferian thing. They're going to push that and keep pushing that and make that really something that we're going to have to really push back against. Right? I don't know. Yeah, Oregon. So Oregon. I'm not going to say that name. And it is that is her name, right? Isn't it Kotex or something like that? Crazy. Who would have thought? But anyway, I think that's all I got. Right? There's a lot more I can put out, but I think that's enough. I don't want to put too much out there. I go off on some tangents. I know some people aren't open to, but we have to touch on those occasionally and push the envelope on them. Wexner, yeah, Les Wexner in Ohio. Yeah, that's a real problem out there too in Ohio. He needs to be exposed. And Jeffrey Epstein, he basically funded Jeffrey Epstein and all that kind of stuff. So, but is when Epstein left, Do you think all that stuff stopped? No, no. It just went underground somewhere else. This is the way they are. They have to have dirt on each other, right? So they do these crazy sexual ritual, crazy stuff, and that's just to get them ready for the more hellish stuff, right? Where they're doing the blood sacrifices and cannibalism and the adreno, all that stuff. So yeah, we don't want to go down too deep down these rabbit holes every night, but that's pretty much Kotex is your name for he, her. So I think let's see, what is the governor of Oregon? So it is Tina Kotex, right? Kotek. So that might be your name, but it's close to what it really is. So, it's not a random name that you came up with. It's very, very close. So, anyway, Kotex, 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 or Kojak. All right. So, whatever. All right, guys. Lots of love. Stay in the love vibration, and we'll see you guys next time.